Rebecca, if you're speaking, we lost sound.
Okay, so apparently I have to have my picture on and then turn it off again every once in a while. Sorry about that. Can you still hear me? Can you hear me?
Yep, we can.
Okay. All right. So welcome everybody. I'll try to just stay calm. So maybe the mic will stay calm with me. Welcome to our April collaboration call. It's wonderful to have you all here. Allison, if I fade off, just, I guess, let me know so that I know to turn on my picture and get me back again. We have a pretty full agenda tonight, lots happening, although we have been having some challenges getting everybody on board, so it might be shorter than I think. In any case, I would like to start this evening with a sort of a very short, quick grounding and centering meditation. And then the sharing that I'd like to do is around the Ubuntu Planet USA vision. So, Allison, are we ready to just dive straight into this? Okay. So, receive a deep breath. Just start to feel the energy of this collection of beings who want to bring in this new paradigm. And there's however many of us on this particular call, but reach further out with your energy and feel across the planet all of the energies that want this new paradigm to manifest. Breathe in that energy, breathe in acceptance of that energy. Breathe in welcoming of that energy. And then allow yourself to come more present in your own physical body here. Holding that vibration of a new paradigm. And let's get started in tonight's sharing. So, next screen, so Ubuntu Planet USA has a vision of providing awareness and education of Ubuntu philosophy and contributionism to the people, whilst supporting the communities who embrace the movement. And I want to do a little bit of explanation around what we're thinking here. And I'm just going to quickly thank Melissa, who is our operations manager, who has just a mind and organizational skill that is phenomenal. So I'm going to just break this down. She broke this down, and I'm going to break it down for you guys to provide awareness of education.
Rebecca, we lost you.
Okay, well, I don't know. So actually, I'll leave my video on and just see if I can read this. So, Ubuntu philosophy and contributionism, since the Ubuntu philosophy is the foundation of contributionism, that's listed first. Since it's a way of being and there's no one body of knowledge that is a Ubuntu, the Ubuntu philosophy is not it is just Ubuntu philosophy. And contributionism is capitalized because of the continual reference to the book that Michael's book that we use as our blueprint and baseline. To the people connects to the individual human as well as to the collective, whilst supporting the communities who embrace the movement. This illustrates supporting those communities that embrace Ubuntu philosophy and contributionism. It does not imply that everyone that we support must follow the One Small Town manifesto or even become labeled One Small Town. Ubuntu Planet will support any community that it feels is in harmony with Ubuntu philosophy and contributionism. We are not limited to supporting only communities that meet a specified set of criteria. Becoming a One Small Town is an option for a community, but not the solution for everyone. Movement is the use of this word implies continuous action and a paradigm change. As we all know, feel, and sense, the movement is bigger than one person or one book. It's conscious manifestation of our true nature, oneness. This is the movement behind the words. So we wanted to share that, just sort of to bring into a very cohesive manner what we are doing here, what we, Ubuntu Planet USA, is doing here, and make it really sort of bring that to the forefront of what we're talking about tonight and what we talk about when we're speaking about Ubuntu contributionism anywhere. It's this vision of creating this new paradigm that we're about. So that's that. I'm going to turn my video back off, and hopefully my audio stays here. So let's go ahead and move on to the next screen or slide. Okay, so I would like to give a little bit of news and updates. There's so much happening, and it continues to happen, and it's pretty much next to impossible to share everything because it would take, all night. So Canada is still moving forward with their North Frontenac and One Small Town stuff, and I spoke with Duncan Spence, who is the Canadian national coordinator, basically. He will
Rebecca, we lost you again.
All right, I'm just going to leave the video on. I'm sorry to do that because it's right behind me, and anyway, but so Canada will be having their collaboration call at 8:30 Eastern time tonight, and if somebody that is on my team can find the link to their call and post it, that would be fantastic in the chat here. They'll be giving a much more detailed update on what's happening in North Frontenac and their One Small Town. They are preparing to be in communication with the mayor. The mayor has had some family issues come up and hasn't been very available, so that's put a little bit of a slowdown on things. But they are moving forward with that, and they are moving forward with communication, becoming really an official One Small Town, because they're doing it from the mayors and city council down, which moves us into news from Walsenburg. And they are doing this Ubuntu movement or resource-based economy movement from the ground up. And currently the mayor and city council are not engaged at this point. I'm hoping to change that, probably not quite yet next month, but coming in over the summer perhaps. Our main goal for down in Walsenburg is setting up housing for people who want to go there. Right now, the living situation for people who want to show up is a little bit, unless you have money to purchase a house or to rent a house or whatever, the Ubuntu style housing is not available yet. But that is one of our main focuses, and is unfolding in nice ways, really. I want to talk about District 1, which is Brian Rossino's nonprofit. He is focused on food production down in Walsenburg, and they had their first, yesterday they had their first sort of open house in a kitchen restaurant space that he owns there, or runs there, and doing fantastic work, very, very focused on community awareness around food, which in Walsenburg is really needed. So I want to give just a thumbs up and a little bit of news about Minnesota. Trygve and his whole group of people are doing amazing work. They continue to grow and expand, and so probably in the next month or two, we're going to have Trygve on here as a UBUNTU champion because of the work that they're doing. They are doing aquaponics and putting those out into the community. The most recent email was an update on some backyard grow boxes, and if you haven't checked in with Trygve, you can find him on the Ubuntu connector. Highly recommend checking out what they're up to. And I do want to talk, but we'll talk a little bit later. I want to also mention the coordinators, the regional coordinators, because there are regional coordinators in Minnesota and actually in several different states around the country, and they're doing fantastic work. And Kathy Rakossi, I think is her name, is also up in Minnesota doing great work as a regional coordinator. And just a real quick update, because I don't have very much information about the Ubuntu Summit and the Ubuntu Planet Day. Neither Brandon or Susan could be on the call tonight, so and unfortunately, I don't have as much of an update as I'd like to have. The Ubuntu Summit is moving forward. They being Brandon and Ubuntu Innovations is in communication with Mike Waters, who is an inventor and who's connected with a whole bunch of other inventors, and they're setting up the dates and the times and the different awards that are going to be happening with the Ubuntu Summit. Ubuntu Planet Day is not a fully decided yet whether that will be tied to the Ubuntu Summit weekend or if we'll be doing that on its own day. But that is definitely a high point for Susan and one of the events that we're doing this summer or fall. So those, I think, are the news updates. What's the next slide, Allison? Yes, I'd like to introduce and welcome Brendan Hill. He's our new contribution manager. He's doing a fantastic job. He came on board shortly after our last collaboration call. You'll get to meet him because he'll be on the call a little bit later, and he's doing fantastic work and is very excited about what he can do for and with Ubuntu Planet USA. And Alex Hillman is our nonprofit coordinator. He is working diligently to get our nonprofit status up and functioning so that we can actually begin to receive larger donations from people who have that ability to support us. So welcome to you two. Okay. So that, did Melissa get connected in? Is Melissa on here?
I see her in the
chat
box, but I don't see her in.
All right. Well, Melissa. Okay. So I'll just play a very poor Melissa impression. She is making slow headway with getting us to participate with the fantastic tools that she has. We are resistant to the organizational structure that she just exhibits so beautifully. So she is making progress on that and continues to bring in tools and invites us in very pleasant and joyous ways to participate. And I think we have about 50% participation at the core level at this point, giving her the role updates, role description updates. And phase 2 of that will include the regional coordinators, which I was mentioning earlier. The regional coordinators, there's quite a few more regional coordinators, and they like I said, are doing fantastic work, and they will get to participate with Melissa in this fun organizational structure that we're putting into place. And actually, I am even though I might be sounding like I'm not excited about it, the reality of what Melissa brings is profound and is creating a foundation that allows us to grow to the size that we need to be able to grow to have the impact that we know we're going to have. So we need Melissa, and we need the structure that she brings for us, and we just need to work past our own resistances to it. So sorry, Melissa, I did not do your eloquent version of what you would have been talking about, but there you go. Next time, get on the phone. All right, who's next? Yes, well, so current regional coordinator. So we have, however many there are here, there's two in several states, 3 in Washington. The regional coordinator role is picking up steam and is incredibly exciting. There are several coordinators that are doing fantastic work. In fact, one of them will be our UBUNTU Champion tonight, and then another one will be on our UBUNTU Champion next month. If you are looking for information and looking for what's happening around your area, your region, check out our regional coordinators page on the website. Sorry, I should have put that on here as well. If you go to the website, to the USA portion, and then under core team or members or whatever it is, I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know. Maybe somebody can post that over in the chat too. But you can connect with any of the coordinators who are there. I will be adding the rest of them as I have time, and I'm sorry that I haven't gotten everybody on there. But this was a great idea that again, Melissa had of letting you guys see how many different states are represented and how many people have stepped up for that regional coordinator role. And there's room for more. And so if you have the time commitment and the skill set, and most importantly, the passion to want to share Ubuntu, then please look into stepping into a regional coordinator role. They're doing fantastic work, and it's a great way to really be spreading the Ubuntu information and news. So, okay, I think we can move on to yay. So now, is Pauline still on? I see you've been dropping in and out. Are you still here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, great.
Oh,
thanks.
thank goodness. Wow, what a trip anyways. Yeah, so much is heating up in public relations, and I want to take a moment to thank Allison for holding this and me finally being a part of this. I know I've failed to show up in the past, and I think it's just due to not really being familiar with this this method of meeting. So we had a really productive meeting concerning Michael Tellinger's tour. He works with a gentleman by the name of Neil, who has a website, Portal to Ascension, for those of you who aren't familiar with Neil. He's worked with Neil in the past. So we're excited to be working in alliance with Neil to help promote his tour and to get all of that information out to our Ubuntu group as well, so that they have an understanding of what's happening, as well as anyone who's going to be having Michael in their area. And this is again, Melissa is helping us try and organize this, and it's a great introduction to maybe further tours he'll be having to help promote Ubuntu in other areas. So essentially, on my bullet points here, we are working with Canada right now because they are going through a reorg. They've had some Ubuntu members fall off, and so they're a little short of help at the moment. And so we're stepping in to help support them and work with them, since Michael will be both touring in the US as well as Canada. And so we're collaborating, which is nice, and hopefully we can strengthen them, and they will be able to maybe strengthen somebody else in the future. So Branson, who's, I believe, also a part of this, works with public relations, and he, I'm just going to briefly mention this. He can share a little bit more if he needs to, but he's stepped into more of I guess you could say like an ambassadorship on a global scale, meaning we're reaching out, he and Melissa are both reaching out to other countries to strengthen our Ubuntu Planet family. and as well as to help other Ubuntu groups to essentially come to get, as they're building their groups in their particular locality. They can use us as sort of a blueprint, because chances are we've either made those mistakes or so we're happy that he's going to be handling both of our social media as well as strengthening our larger group connection to Ubuntu countries. So that is what Branson is up to. Let's see. So I want to make a note of Neil. He has already confirmed, I believe, 5 or 6 radio shows to help promote Michael's tour. So we will be blasting, that's the sort of information as it comes in, we will sort of be blasting out there. So, so that people have that and can either tune in or post it or, share it with people in their particular region, locality, all of that sort of stuff. We, and of course, thank goodness for Melissa, because PR, well, I should say, we lost Kat. She has stepped back. She's got some reorging to do in her personal world. So she stepped back, and since she has, we are working on creating a more cohesive structure for public relations, and from there we might even be creating groups within PR. And one example of that is our graphic design team, because we really heavily rely on them. And Gloriana is in the process of bringing some other people into that. And so we're excited about that, because we would like to grow that part of PR. Let's see. The ebook. Yes. So one of the things that we're helping Neil with, since he's taking a bulk of the responsibility, and when I say that, he is hired to live stream as well as help promote Michael's tour. We will step in to assist and make sure, the venues have the technology he needs, that sort of thing. And as needed, like, he knows that we're there and he's excited to be working with us. But the ebook, we figured, was a great opportunity to help promote not only Michael's tour, but why not his ebook? Even though he's physically bringing books around with him, we thought, well, this is social media, so let's get this ebook up and out there and available while he's on this tour. So we're working on. I'm working with some of the graphic designers to get that in alignment with his tour and strengthen this whole thing. And as of late, I would say that's what we're focusing on. We've got other things coming down the pike, but I think I will leave it to that, since there'll be others here presenting. And thanks so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at the email there on the slide, if everyone can see that.
Great, thanks, Pauline. That's fantastic. There are, I think Trygve asked the question about the radio shows. The information is coming and will get posted for sure to Facebook. And I'm sure that we'll start using the MailChimp mailing system more, so that we can get that information out to everybody who's signed up on our newsletter. So when you're talking with anybody, have them sign up for our newsletter, because information will be being shared that way often. So
yes,
okay, so here is our brand new Brendan Hill. Brendan, are you here? You might need to check your mic. Did he make it here? Allison, did he make it on? All righty. Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Rebecca. It looks like his admin link wasn't working, so I don't think he's actually signed in to the admin side.
Okay, then I'll give just the little bit of the update that I can on this. He has been doing a hydroponic closet kit, and he's creating instructions for that, and pretty exciting. He was sharing it with us maybe yesterday on our core team meeting, and when he gets those instructions created, and actually I think he's connected with Trigvi, hopefully, because or Tank actually. I had mentioned that to him, so hopefully that has been a follow-up for him. Brendan and Melissa are working on a master, or maybe it's Branson actually. Branson are working on a master list of eco-villages around the world. And he's collaborating with lots of people. I shortened his list. He had more stuff in here, and I thought he would remember what he was talking about, but I don't remember what he's talking about because it wasn't my list. But so he is partnering and collaborating with multiple different peoples and groups, and I'm going to actually add the collaborating with the possible New Michigan coordinator. He's been sending me people who are interested in being coordinators and being, I think he even got a contact from somebody in the Philippines who wants to start creating a Philippine national team. So the international level of what's happening through us or with us or whatever is pretty impressive. People continue to contact us. We are this group, this Ubuntu Planet USA is pretty strong now and gathering momentum, and it's because of you guys as well that the word is spreading, and we're more and more able to deal with the energy of and time of people coming in and asking questions. So Brendan is a big part of that ability for us to be able to handle that. He and Melissa are also working on automating, and Jeremy, of course, automating the workflows for the contribution requests and supporting the small towns. The more automation we can get going, the more we can handle. So that's a pretty big project that we have that we're working on, and Jeremy continues to work on all of the automation and the website benefits. The benefits of having the website that he created are going to become more and more obvious as we get larger and bigger. So I think that, so if you would like to contact Brendan, his emails are there at the bottom. And again, for any of us of the core team, if you go to the core team page, you can just click on the image of the person that you want to contact, and that'll create a form that goes to that person. And Brendan in particular is working with anything that has to do with contributions, and not necessarily so much with the money part of contributions, but the physical ability to contribute into this movement. So if you have ideas, if you have desires and skill sets, contacting Brendan is a very good idea. The other thing I'll mention again, because it's on another slide, but we do have the contribution or the contribute page that has the different positions that are available currently for contributing time-wise. So be sure to check that out. Okay, Allison, I think that we are ready for the next slide. Yay, Jeremy. So good. I get to hand off to Jeremy.
Okay, thanks, Rebecca. Good evening, everyone. It's great to be with you tonight. I first must apologize. This past month has literally flown by, and I've been out of town quite a bit, so I haven't had a chance to work on the website as much as I would have liked. However, there's still so much going on. There's always something moving, and everything continues to move forward. So I just want to provide a quick update on the current initiatives that we are working on for the website. The single sign-on feature is an ongoing project. I'm hoping to have that rolled out by next collaboration call. There's a lot to it, and the dependencies on this single sign-on feature is quite significant in that the bottom line is it's going to provide the ability for one account, for one Ubuntu account, and to share that account between the global connector, between these new services that we're working on, and other external, whether it be a partner or external authentication system. It's going to be very critical to get this done. So that's really kind of the priority programming projects that I'm trying to focus on so I can get that done. It'll also provide the ability on the global connector to share data back and forth, where we can interface that data with the global connector and with the global website. So to give you a real world example, if you go to the global connector, you'll have the opportunity to log in with your Ubuntu account. Or if you already have an account on the global connector, then you'll be able to log in on the Ubuntu website using your global connector account. So it's all going to be the same to simplify. And what that will do is it will allow you to log in to the new Ubuntu portal that we are working on, which is essentially your membership profile. So as you register and sign up, which you've already done for the global connector, but we're going to import that data into the global website as well. We're going to be able to build out features that will help the Ubuntu membership going forward, where you'll be able to see, how many contribution requests you're currently signed up for, how many projects you're working on, quick links to the communities that you're involved in. Like I said, the projects, it'll give you direct access to the circles that you signed up for on the global connector. And really at that point, the sky's the limit. We can continue to building features and enhancements on anything that this movement needs. So it's very exciting. I'll be really glad when that functionality is done, because like I said, there's a lot of dependencies that we can then focus on. Something else that's kind of in the works is we're starting a proof of concept for a new Ubuntu shop. And one of the main objectives when these projects first started was to kind of consolidate and try and bring as much of the Ubuntu services in-house as much as possible, mainly for simplification. I mean, we want to give people just one URL that they go to find out about everything Ubuntu. And so it makes sense that we'll bring that Ubuntu shop functionality into the global website at some point. So right now we're just playing around with the proof of concept. And kind of the last bullet point I have there is a lot of the infrastructure that goes in behind the scenes. Most people don't see, but I just kind of wanted to provide an update, because there was some work done on the infrastructure side where we separated the production server. We've got a more consistent flow and management process for code changes. And the primary benefit, in addition to stability overall, is we can test these features without impacting the production website. And so we've got multiple servers now set up. We've got a true development flow. We've got the testing server set up. We also have a staging server. So it kind of helps my world more as we bring on more contributors and developers to help out. It's more structured, and we can be able to respond to the request to make a lot of these features better. So that's pretty much the main areas I wanted to hit. If you're interested in helping out with the development team, there's so many different areas of the website that would be helpful. So feel free to contact me at that email address that you see.
Fantastic. And I am always continue to be in awe and thrilled about what this website is capable of, and the fact that you have stepped up to contribute to us in this movement is, I'm deeply grateful. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Okay, what's next? Okay, Branson, you're still here, right?
Yes, I'm here. I can't type anything in the chat anymore, but I think I'm still connected at least.
Good.
Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you for joining us. I wanted to touch again on what Pauline was talking about with Michael Tellinger's tour. Canada has a developing team, and we want to make sure we have equal opportunities to support them as well, us as he travels to both regions. So we're going to be working with their team and Neil, to organize the promotions using graphics and relative posts for social media, including locations, dates, and times. And once all that information is finalized, you'll be able to see it pretty much all across our reach. If you're an admin of an Ubuntu group or page, whether it be local or more broad, look out for these posts and please share them everywhere that you can that's appropriate, so we can have a reach and try to sell these tickets to help him at least get back to Africa. So, but hopefully we make a big enough impact where this is going to be huge, and we can have more of these events in a more broader scheme. So, with social media, if you're active on social media and you do see posts that we're trying to circulate, whether it be Facebook and 6 at least different groups and pages, Twitter, Instagram. We're exploring other platforms as well if we can make sure that they're economic for us. Participate. It's good to show, even though you're just clicking a button and it gives you a thumbs up on the screen, it really extends our reach and extends the influence that we're trying to have on this new paradigm shift, and it reflects your participation as well in whatever resonates with you that we're trying to accomplish. So that being said, we've got well over 11,000 followers on our page. We reach 10,000 plus people every week with our posts, and of those people, over 3,500 people engage on those posts on our page alone. So it works, and the message we're trying to extend is the essence of the philosophy we're digging it out from. So, in addition, you'll see we're working on a couple of campaigns, contribution campaigns. One being micro donations, and these are important because so many people can help in a small way, and it really adds up. And what we're trying to do is forward our team to not having to pay the small and random expenses out of pocket to do what we're trying to do. And though none of us mind contributing in that fashion, it's really hard to work and pay bills and feel responsible at the same time. So the basis of us being able to afford to move forward in these different areas of the reach we're trying to get is most important with micro donations. And we have I don't see anything on the slide, so I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think if Rebecca can type in the chat where we're at now, I think we have 14 or 16 recurring monthly donation cycles in our PayPal. 17, there we go. And it's really starting to come together that this campaign is working. So continue to participate if you can. If not, there's tons of other ways to contribute. As Jeremy was saying, we have a contribution page on the website, and if you're savvy in the more technical and managerial requests that we have open, contact us on those if you can contribute your time and skill. And there are a vast array of requests that we have open, and I'll be sharing those individually throughout social media. So, if you can contribute in any way monetarily, contributions, donations, micro donations, contribution requests. That's where to find out where you can. And if you have any questions about social media or to get involved there, we have an open contribution request as well. And or you can email me at the address down below, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Wanted to touch base on the international activities we're trying to advocate, since Brendan wasn't able to join us in presenting this. We're essentially trying to connect and collaborate with worldwide, or IM Ubuntu, and that's just a piece of it. But the database that we're building for existing international eco villages and co-communities will be most resourceful to researching the ways in which people are kind of riding along the same rail and helping produce this new paradigm. They may have been doing it for 30 years, they may have been doing it for 3, but the point is when we can intercollectively expound on the ideas that are happening and talk about them with other regions of the world, then that's really getting back to what we're trying to do as a movement. And in this ancient philosophy, we're resourcing. So if we can build and maintain the international relations surrounding these other Ubuntu groups around the world, around the existing eco-villages and co-communities, and really just enhance those relations globally, then I really feel that's going to carry the momentum of what we've built so far just infinitely into the very near future. So with that, I think I'm finished.
I have to turn on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Because apparently just my mic doesn't work, so I have to be doing pictures. Thanks very much, Branson. So much incredibly exciting stuff. I actually wanted to mention, I celebrate. So 17 people have committed to monthly micro donations equaling $106 per month, which is income that we can count on. And I want to share that it was a complete surprise to me. I had asked everybody on the core team to send a sort of an accounting of what they're paying out of pocket per month. And it's pushing $500 that gets paid out of pocket, out of the core team pockets every month. So $100, $106 is fantastic. And just know that we could use another 17 people and another 17 people and another 17 people, because that not only are the core team giving enormous numbers of hours into supporting this movement, but then some of them are putting in a significant amount of money. And so having help with that would be fantastic. Even if it's just $1 a month, it absolutely makes a difference. So just wanted to put that in there. Okay, sorry about that, Allison and Nicole. It's all you now.
Hi, this is Nicole.
Hey, can you hear me? Hey, Nicole. I don't know what happened to Allison. Allison, are you around? Hi, Nicole. Why don't you introduce yourself? You are part of the education team.
Hi. Yes, I'm part of the education team, and I'm happy tonight that I'll be presenting a little presentation about unschooling, which is a good model, I think, for an Ubuntu community. Allison asked me to put this together because I am a teacher and I've studied some of these philosophies of unschooling and deschooling and homeschooling. So it looks as if Allison's mic is not working. Perhaps I will try sharing my presentation if that's okay.
Great idea. Try it.
Okay. All right. So let me see if I can get that to come up into the meeting. Let me know when you see it, and my volume might click out for a minute. So please let me know when you hear me speaking as well.
All right. Are you still there? You went away. Oh no. I think we might be having technical troubles. Oh my gosh. Oh yes, now we can hear you. Yes, very good. Perfect. Great.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me? Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yes, now I can hear you. Okay, good, I'm on. Okay, so here we go. This is unschooling, an exploration of the concept and practice prepared for you for this meeting. And I'm going to try to keep this short, so let me just set a timer. Okay, and we'll begin. So first, let's talk about what the school system today is like. Compulsory schooling and mandated curriculum are, from my perspective, and I think from the perspective of Tellinger, are tools of political and social oppression and control. School curriculum, like the media, is designed by elite banking families, says Tellinger in his presentations. And remember his holy cows of education that he talked about. Some of them are, I think there were 3 or 4, nothing can travel faster than the speed of light. Energy can neither be created or destroyed. He said, these are the holy cows education teaches to keep us from the truth and keep us from awakening. And it's a deliberate curriculum. So John Gatto, in his acceptance speech for the New York City Teacher of the Year Award in 1990, also was transparent and said, schools were designed by Horace Mann and others to be instruments of the scientific management of mass population, that really control and management is the goal and not as much what we are learning. Schools kill a child's natural curiosities and fascination with the pursuit of knowledge in favor of a force-fed, deliberate curriculum is what the perspective of unschooling would say. And how many times have you heard kids say school is a prison? As a teacher, I hear it every day in high schools. The school system rests on the illusion that most learning is the result of teaching. Teaching, it is true, may contribute to certain kinds of learning under certain circumstances, but most people acquire most of their knowledge outside school by living and doing things in the world, and that might resonate with you as well. How much can you remember of what you were formally taught in a classroom? How much is the learning you've done outside of school more important to you personally and more valuable? So we tend to see then the world itself as non-educational and institutions as academic, while the rest is not. And I think that's insanity. Schooling is largely a big time and resources waste for communities and for individuals. Learning itself is complex and lifelong and can't necessarily be reduced to a certain time, place, and method. Also, schools, it turns out, are a convenient way to sequester children during the day so that the parents who are the job slaves can work. And as we know, Tellinger has said, a job is a slave. Here are some more illusions. Pupils are schooled to confuse teaching with learning, grade advancement with education, a diploma with competence, and fluency is confused with the ability to be able to say something new. One's imagination is schooled to accept service in place of value. And that's from Ivan Illich, who wrote a book called Deschooling Society. And he believed that this was true about education, but also other institutions, like the same way medical treatment is now often mistaken for healthcare. His book was seminal in creating the unschooling ideas that came after. Ideas and practices. So we tend to believe that school is just something you have to do. And when you graduate, then you are truly free, which is questionable. We have accepted that these ideas that children belong in school, children learn in school, and children can be taught only in school. I think we need to question those. Unschooling is also called natural learning, or experience-based learning, or independent learning. Earl Stevens says in his website, it is not a method, it is a way of looking at children and life. When we view education from the sense of living and learning, then we quickly realize that there is nothing that is not included in education. And Karma Cloud was at one point, I know, working on this Ubuntu USA project, and I took that from a letter that she wrote. Unschooling is based on trust that parents and children will find the paths that work best for them without depending on educational institutions, publishing companies of textbooks, or, quote, experts to tell them what to do, what to learn, how, where, and when. So the idea behind homeschooling is that a child will pursue knowledge when given the space to do so. Unschooling provides a unique opportunity to step away from systems and methods and to develop independent ideas out of actual life experiences where the child is truly in pursuit of knowledge and not the other way around, because I've seen that not working over and over in public schools. I've seen the complacency. I've seen the children just, they know on a level what is being done to them, and they know something is wrong, just like we all do. George Bernard Shaw, what we want to see is the child in pursuit of knowledge and not the knowledge in pursuit of the child. In my experience in studying unschooling and meeting lots of homeschoolers, unschoolers are generally more mature, more self-aware, more curious, and more accelerated than their school indoctrinated counterparts, which is often questioned by people who are, not sure about what unschooling is like, But here is the words from one unschooler, Itzi Desmarias. She's a 20-year-old who has a blog, and she's explained it from 3 different angles. These are on taken from one of her blog posts, an article where she answers the question, what is unschooling, in 3 versions. So version 1, unschooling, usually considered a type of homeschooling, is student-directed learning, which means the child or teen learns whatever they want, whenever they want. Learning is entirely interest-driven, not dictated or directed by an external curriculum by teachers or parents. For an unschooler, life is their classroom, and then they are empowered, and their compass is their own curiosity. Version 2, unschooling requires a paradigm shift, one in which you must stop looking at the world as a series of occurrences, resources, and experiences, etc., that can be learned from, and a series that can't. The world doesn't divide neatly into different subjects, and you can't tell right from the outset what a seemingly unimportant question, interest, or TV show obsession will lead to. She's speaking, says, learn from wandering, wondering, listening, reading, watching, discussing, running, writing, daydreaming, searching, researching, meditating, hibernating, playing, creating, growing, doing, helping, and everything else that comprises the day-to-day happenings of my life. And I would say that this is freedom. And this answers the question, what should we be learning? We should be learning what naturally comes in our lives from an internal sense of what's valuable. Version 3, unschooling at its heart is nothing more complicated or simple than the realization that life and learning are not 2 separate things. And when you realize that living and learning are inseparable, it all starts to truly make sense. So how does this all fit with Ubuntu? Well, Ubuntu posits a society in which people are free from the enslavement of a system created by the elite. Schools are a component of how society is controlled, manipulated, and made to serve the slavery system. Schools also waste much of a young person's life after basic literacy and computation are achieved. Unschooling would allow young people in Ubuntu community to be educated through the daily activities of living in the community while participating in the community, not artificially removed to an institution. And then the community can also receive their valuable contributions. Right now, young people are not, especially teens, are not really seen as valuable contributors, which they could be. And that would accelerate their learning. So how would this work? Well, things like apprenticeships, learning networks, development, learning places and spaces could be community projects. And community projects would also be learning spaces. All components of the society would be contributing to teaching, and all would be teaching each other. I believe resources for formal drill learning in certain things like literacy, arithmetic, and languages would still be valuable. That's the method by which certain skills are learned, such as these. In It could also work that all who want to learn will have access to available resources at any time in their lives, since learning is lifelong and complex, as we said from the start. It should not just be limited to the school age years. And imagine educational credits like the warehouse credit card Tellinger has spoken about could be given to all members of the community to be redeemed at any time. At first, the community would need to play within the established system and report the learning standards from the national or state learning standards to the political authorities, the same way that homeschoolers are required to do now in order to not be considered truant. And that would be like a bridge phase. And everyone would get a unique education in the community, which would be kind of cool. What are the benefits to Ubuntu? The benefits are that, one, the imposed social and financial hierarchy that education creates would dissolve. So currently our degrees function like social capital, and they create divisions of privilege, and that could potentially dissolve. Less money could be wasted on school machines, which would mean more money for the community. There would be a spirit of contributionism. Everyone then is an educator, and young people are contributors. So there would be a new paradigm shift. The power then comes back to the people to learn, to educate themselves as part of the abundance and freedom created by an Ubuntu community. Now, I have one last thought for you, and that is that if we adopt this new perspective that life and living is school itself, is the way that education happens, then the word school really takes on a whole new meaning. It's not a building, a place where you go to learn. So perhaps we need a new word for school that embodies this spirit, this paradigm shift, like the word Ubuntu has this resonance for a new reality. And so I invite the establishment of a new word that we can use in Ubuntu circles and communities, such as this, to mean this new understanding of how and where education occurs. These are the sources for my presentation, and thank you so much for the privilege of being here to speak with you.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Nicole. Fantastic information, much more detailed than I was expecting, and that's fantastic because it gives us a really great sense of what unschooling would mean in an Ubuntu community, or in any community really. But so, Allison, did you get your mic back on? Are you back here? Maybe not. No. All right then. So how about your can you unshare your screen, Nicole? I wonder. I'm nope. So you're completely done. Is that what you're telling me, Allison? Do you have a screen right now? I don't see the oh, there we go. Good.
Unshare. I already unshared, so I'm sorry if you're still seeing it.
No. I see now. I see the back to Allison's screen, our presentation. So I take it, Patsy, that you were not able to get on to the call here, which is a complete bummer, because I just want to share that Patsy is this fantastic energy, and she laughs all the time. She has this a bubble. She's a bubbly girl, and it's unfortunate that we don't get to hear her energy. She's the Alaskan Regional Coordinator. Hopefully there'll be more, but right now she's it, and she has started a meetup, and her focus is a community garden. And I think that she had something like 9. Are you still on, Patsy? Can you write over in the chat thing if I'm going astray? Can people hit the request to speak button? I think we've tried that before, but it didn't work. Does it work now, Allison? Do you know? I don't know. Anyway, I don't know, Trigvi. This is pretty. Anyway, so I encourage you to reach out to Patsy. I'm sorry that she can't share, because she has such a joie de vivre and a true energy of Ubuntu, and a sense of knowing that we have to be creating a new world for ourselves, and she and her family and the people that she's around are just going to it. They're like, okay, well, we know we need some food security. I think being in Alaska has created a sharp awareness of, because everything is basically shipped up there on barge or on maybe trucks, but for sure barges. And so when the weather doesn't allow the barge traffic to be traveling, they get hurting really quickly. And that's, I know, one of her key motivations for some food security on their part. And so she is also on the Ubuntu connector. So connect with her and congratulate her. If possible, reach out to her and have a conversation with her, because her verbal energy is just really infectious and wonderful to be around. And I'm sorry that that she's not able to be on. So, okay. So I think we'll move on. She also is on the regional coordinators page. You can reach out to her that way. The form will go directly to her, and I know that she would love to hear from you and get connected with you that way. Okay, so well, who's next? What's next? Oh yeah, so, and we've already spoken about the contribute page, but these are some of the roles that are currently available on there. There's more than this, but and one of the really cool things about the contribute page, and I'm not sure it's quite ready yet. Jeremy, are you still on?
Yes, I'm here.
So what I'm not sure of is whether, so I know one of the contribute boxes is for people who have ideas of things that could be contributed, or ways that they could contribute. Does that anybody can post, or does that have to be sent to somebody?
Right now, it needs to be sent to one of the core team members to post. But yeah, we can do that in the future as an enhancement. But currently, It's just the core team members.
Okay, so the person that you would send that to most likely would be Brendan, because he's sort of managing that contribute page for those things. So if you have an idea of what you could be contributing, or an idea that we want to think about adding into a contribution opportunity, contact Brendan or any other one. But Brendan, that is his focus, is that. So we definitely continue to need print and digital designers and regional coordinators. I had been thinking actually that the regional coordinator page would go here, but this is perfect. We already saw who the regional coordinators are, and we're definitely ready and prepared to have more of you. So if that's a role you feel like you could fill and you have the time, it is a little bit more time intensive than some of the other roles. So that's a thing to consider when stepping into considering that role. Okay, what's next? I think we're winding it up. Okay, you and Ubuntu, this is the slide we always have. Again, you can always donate actual monies, or you can donate your time, or contribute your time, contribute your experiences and your skills, your ideas. All of those are important. As you can tell, we have room for more and more idea people who have concepts of how to make things run more smoothly, and tools to help us expand in the ways that we know that we need to expand. Let's see, we still have books, and if you're really interested in doing books, then just give me a shout or an email. As already mentioned with Patsy, starting a meetup group is a fantastic idea. Again, the regional coordinators, some of them they're brilliant with the ideas that they come up with of how to spread the word of Ubuntu. I wonder if we could maybe come up with an idea of occasionally sharing some of those brilliant ideas, make a page on the website that is brilliant idea page or something. So follow us on Ubuntu Planet USA on Facebook, and anytime you have the opportunity to spread the message, do so. Earth Day is coming up, so feel free to do acts of kindness and acts of Ubuntu through for Earth Day, and just promote the energy of Ubuntu while doing it. And then connect to your own passions and offer contributions to others, whether it's through Ubuntu Planet USA or just through your own heart space. That's so. Okay, I think, and so then we come back to questions. I know that there was one question from Trygve about the radio shows. Those will be announced probably through email and definitely through well, Facebook and things like that. Saturday, the 22nd of April is Earth Day. Lots of activities going on around the country and maybe around the world, but I know Walsenburg is doing a little something, and so yeah, Earth Day is a great day to sort of be promoting Ubuntu philosophy actions. Okay, and anybody else? Any questions? Any thoughts? Any ideas? Any comments? It's been a great call. Lots of interaction. I love that, and I love it most when I don't have to field the chat box. Okay, so our next call. You know what? We actually might want to talk about this for just a second. The next call is the next second Sunday is Mother's Day, so that's May 14th. So I wonder if we will postpone it a week or make it the next week or something. Something we might want to talk about. Okay, so there it is. You guys have a great night. Thanks for being here. I know we went a little bit long, but I think that it is worth it because we have such amazing things happening, and we all get inspired. So, so Michael's closest approach to Minnesota is Colorado. Will he be visiting Walsenburg? I'm hoping so, Trygve, but so far he has not said that he will. So I have been pushing that. We'll see if it actually manifests. But thanks for putting that out there. Okay. Namaste to all of you. And in Lakesh, you guys rock this world. We're changing the paradigm, and I appreciate every one of you. Thanks.
Thank you.